cheeky midweeky. Maybe I should start putting this on a Wednesday in the middle of the week rather than just on random days. Drop that comment below if you think I should schedule this a little bit more frequently. All right, guys, a little update on the week. I have only trained twice this week, so jumping in for a pull day early in the week, trying to hit some good volume in that back, but mostly sticking a lot of that volume around the delts and the arms. It was a nice little session, getting a good pump on through the shoulders and through the biceps. Felt really strong in this session, lots of energy. As we drove into the next day, feeling like I didn't really have that kind of mind space to get into the gym for that second day. I would have usually gone for a push and then complemented some running alongside that. Not quite so long, maybe done some intervals, but instead I just felt like I needed to get out, about and move and then head out. So I decided to do a long run in the middle of the week this time round and set out a nice long course for me to do some kind of push intervals, get used to sitting in on the trails. This has been a really good preparation run for me to understand what that kind of trail run pace is going to feel like, how hard it is going to feel to push during the trails. I don't know what that trail is going to look like as we go into the Suffolk Trail Run. So there was lots of different terrain, hills, stairs, gates, cattle grids, lots of different types of things to contend with. So the paces that I was showing on my long run weren't really a fair reflection of the efforts within each one, and they varied quite drastically. I haven't dropped a training session in since then, but I have got to that point where you need to start thinking about dialing in some of my nutrition going forwards, changing the macros up to a lower amount of calories, dropping in below 2,000 calories now, still weighing in around that 64 kilo mark. So we're going to hit up for 180 protein, 200 carbs and about 40 fat as we try and do that final competition prep leading up to the competition. Really going to be a challenging time where I'm going to have to be a little bit more strict on my nutrition. I know in the things that I do and the way that I preach with my coaching about flexible eating, enjoying your food and trying to factor these things in. And that's something that I'm still trying to do with the food that I'm enjoying. I'm just dialing that into a period where I'm going to be a little bit more strict about the things that I'm eating, and I'm going to try and hit those macros a little bit more closely rather than just using them as a guide up until this point. I want to be on stage in a really solid position. Moving in from this week as well, I am going to try and put together a posing routine, try and get some practice in through some routines. So I haven't actually gone through this routine yet, but we've got some kind of direction for this. So hopefully in the next video or two, we're going to have an idea about what poses I'm doing, what direction I'm at. So you'll be able to see me jump in on my first ever posing routine as well. So that is going to be great fun trying to put that together. After this video, we're going to try and drop in, try and hit some push session, trying to balance the week out a little bit with the push and the pull, rather than hitting that total body that I'd usually hit in this scenario, because I'm still focusing a lot of energy into my upper body development rather than lower, and then just ticking along that lower body, keeping that volume relatively low as I discussed in that last video. Thanks for following along, guys. That's pretty much all the new info I have for you. Lots of exciting things coming up as we draw closer and closer to my first ever bodybuilding competition and that 10K run just 7 days later. If you haven't already, drop that like and that follow below and follow along with my journey. Cheers, guys.